plagued by sickness? Haunted by your own looming mortality? Not anymore. Now there's Icarite, a technological miracle that lets us transfer consciousness from one body to another. That's right, humanity's wildest dream has been fulfilled. The dream of immortality. Now, when sickness or old age starts dragging you down, you can bid on a brand new body at your local government auction house. Give yourself and your loved ones a new lease on life. And don't forget, the body subscription service is mandatory for all citizens 21 and older. So protect your investment. Always avoid illicit substances. Never skip any mandated shell inspections. And prioritize your well-being, physical, psychological, and especially financial. Any lapsed subscription payments will result in your body being submitted to a bailiff auction. And remember, any and all violations will be prosecuted by the Department of Mortality.
Welcome back, Crusaders. This is a first impressions of the game, Nobody Wants to Die. This was kind of like a sleeper hit, kind of was advertised a few months back as definitely a noir detective story, and that is definitely what we're getting in a world that is much like a Blade Runner / Altered Carbon / cyberpunk 1930s type world. You play as a detective who has just basically switched to a new body after a horrible accident, which you don't know all the details of at first, but it throws you definitely into a noir type detective story where you get to use a time reversal device to basically recreate crime scenes and figure out what actually happened, who was involved, to put the pieces together to solve this big case. This game looks gorgeous, actually has great graphics, great imagery, definitely paints a super cool like 1930s / futuristic cyberpunkish Blade Runner world of New York. Also very reminiscent of Bioshock, and a lot of the imagery that we see, like the blimp with the name Icarus on it and what happens with that. The first murder scene called the Tower of Olympus, and references to this is where the gods play and all and that. Very interesting game. If you are definitely into detective games and story games, this is going to be a good one for you. I believe this will probably end up becoming a sleeper hit. It kind of came in under the radar last week on Game Pass. Ended up being also for sale for, I believe, under $30. Very interesting, fun game where you basically find clues, and literally I've played the first mission here a couple times, and each time I found something new in wandering around and looking for everything. It actually is beneficial for you to explore and try and find every nook and cranny, because there might be a clue that will unlock a new dialogue tree. And you'll see it as you play, as there will be little bits of dialogue that will have a lock next to it, or an unlock padlock next to it, meaning that you've said something that unlocked that true dialogue. So far, from what I've literally played the first couple hours, there isn't a lot of like action or shooting or anything. It so far has been strictly navigation, maybe minor puzzle solving, and time manipulation with solving crime scenes and seeing what actually happened. Basically, there's a murderer on the loose, and this murderer is killing people in such a way that they cannot be restored, as they explain in the very beginning, in this altered carbon world where they basically download your consciousness and just install you into a new body. But not all is happy-go-lucky with this, because it's your body that you get is not something that you buy. It's a subscription service, and as soon as you stop paying, they repo your body and basically take your consciousness and store it back into something else, basically a mainframe or something, until like you have the ability to pay up your subscription fee and get a body back. And also, there's a bunch of rules like you have to like maintain your body, keep it healthy, keep it clean, um, and a lot of different restrictions on it. Even as going through the lore, even as you as being a cop, if you stop, if he stops working as a police officer, he has to pay the amount that the police station, the police paid for his body, which is 50%. So it's kind of become a golden handcuff of immortality, where like our main character is a character that if he wants to live or continue living for the hundreds of years that he's lived, he has to constantly be a cop. And if he can't be a cop, he has to then fork up 50% of the cost of his body, which he probably doesn't have because he seems to have a lot of bad habits. Um, but anyway, the lore is very interesting. The detective story built into it is also very well put together and very intriguing to want to draw you in more. There seems to be some side effects with transferring different bodies, such as our character keeps having visions, and they keep calling it something to do with him syncing correctly. So he keeps having visions of his old life, but what we don't know is that his old life or is it his body's old life? That's kind of a undercurrent mystery that's kind of going on that I don't know if they'll ever answer, but it's definitely there. Makes it very interesting as to what the story is, where it's going, and when I'm sure when you pick this game up, you start playing it, you might not be able to put it down until you get to the very end. Very interesting, fun game so far. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's available on Game Pass, or you can purchase it for under $30 on all game stores. I'm sure this game looks great on Xbox Series X. It must look amazing on the PC, especially with how all the different settings you probably get on the PC version. Um, Definitely check it out. It's called Nobody Wants to Die, made by kind of an indie developer. This one kind of came in under the radar. Definitely a lot of fun. I recommend it.